If you've been anywhere near digital marketing in the last year, you've heard it. SEO is dead. Google is losing. ChatGPT is the new Google. AI is going to completely change how people find businesses online. And honestly, some of that is true. ChatGPT now has over 800 million weekly active users. Google is showing AI generated answers right on the search result page. The landscape is changing. But here's the thing, and this is what nobody's talking about. For local businesses, the people who actually need to be found by customers in their area, the game hasn't changed as much as you think. And the businesses that panic and abandon what works, they're the ones who lose. So today we're going to break this down. I'm going to show you exactly what SEO, GEO, and AEO are, what the actual data says about each one, not the hype, just the real numbers. And most importantly, I'm going to tell you what you actually need to focus on if you want your local business to dominate in 2026 and beyond. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to have a crystal clear picture of where things stand. Before I get into the data, let's make sure we're all speaking the same language because these acronyms get thrown around a lot and half the time nobody actually explains them correctly. SEO, search engine optimization. This is what you've been hearing about for the last 20 years. It's how you get your website to show up when someone searches on Google. That's it. Content, backlinks, reviews, the classics. Then there's GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. This is a new one. This is about getting your business cited when somebody asks ChatGPT, Perplexity, or another AI chatbot a question. Instead of clicking through 10 blue links, these tools just generate an answer and they pull from sources across the web to do it. GEO is about making sure your content is one of those sources. Finally, there's AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. This one's specifically about Google's AI features, AI overviews, AI mode, and voice search. You've probably seen it. You type a question into Google and instead of just links, there's a little AI generated summary right at the top. AEO is about getting your business featured in those answers. So we've got 3 different games going on at the same time. And today we're going to take a look at each one, figure out what actually matters, and then, and this is the part everyone needs to hear, we're going to talk about how they all connect back to one thing. Let's start with SEO, because no matter how much buzz GEO and AEO are getting right now, SEO is still the foundation. And I don't say that as an opinion, the numbers make it obvious. Google still processes roughly 14 billion searches every single day. 14 billion. That dominance isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And here's the stat that puts everything in perspective. As of September 2025, Google sends 345 times more traffic to websites than ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity combined. 345 times. You could have every person on earth using ChatGPT and Google would still be sending more people to your website. Now, for local businesses specifically, the key SEO ranking factors haven't really changed. There are 3 pillars you need to know. Number 1, content relevance. Google needs to understand what your business does, where you serve, and what problems you solve. That means your website pages need to be clearly written around the service and locations you target. Number 2, backlinks. Links from other websites pointing to yours. These are like votes of trust. The more quality links you have from relevant sites, the more authority Google gives you. This hasn't changed. It's actually gotten more important, not less. And number 3, reviews. Google reviews are a direct ranking factor for local search. They account for roughly 10 to 15% of how you rank in the local map pack. And it's not just the number of reviews, it's the recency. A steady stream of new reviews coming in signals to Google that your business is active and trustworthy. One more thing worth mentioning, page speed. Google has confirmed that how fast your website loads directly impacts where you rank. This has been true for years, and in 2026, it matters just as much, if not more. Slow sites get penalized. Fast sites get rewarded. It's as simple as that. All right, now let's talk about GEO. This is the one that's got everyone excited right now, and honestly, there is something real here. Let me show you what the data actually says. ChatGPT is massive, 800 million weekly active users, 5.8 billion monthly visits. This isn't a niche tool anymore, it's mainstream, and people are starting to use it to find things, including local businesses and services. So how do you actually get cited by ChatGPT? A research team at Princeton published a study. It was actually presented at one of the top data science conferences in the world, KDD 2024, and they found something really interesting. They found that when you include citations, relevant statistics, and well-sourced quotations in your content, your visibility in AI-generated responses goes up by 40%. That's huge. But that's not the whole story. SE Ranking did an even bigger study. They analyzed 129,000 domains across 200 pages to figure out what actually predicts whether ChatGPT cites you or not. And the number one factor, referring domains. In other words, backlinks. The same thing that matters for Google. Sites with more diverse link profiles got cited way more by ChatGPT. Sites with over 350,000 referring domains averaged 8.4 citations compared to just 1.6 to 1.8 for smaller sites on ChatGPT. Freshness matters too. Pages that were updated within the last 3 months averaged 6 citations on ChatGPT. Outdated content, only 3.6. So ChatGPT has a clear recency bias. It prefers fresh content. Now, here's where it gets interesting for business owners. Some early data is showing the traffic coming from ChatGPT actually has higher purchase intent than traffic from Google. ThoughtMetric analyzed 100 e-commerce stores in May 2025 and found ChatGPT traffic converted at 6.7% compared to just 3.9% from Google search. And Seer Interactive found that ChatGPT visitors explored nearly double the pages per session, 2.3 versus 1.2 for regular organic search. These are people who are actively researching and comparing before they make a buying decision online. But, and this is the important part, ChatGPT referral traffic is still only about 0.19% of total web traffic. It's growing fast, sure, but right now in terms of actual volume, it's a drop in the bucket compared to Google. We'll come back to what this means in just a minute. Finally, let's talk about AEO. Answer engine optimization, and specifically what's happening right inside Google itself, because this is where things are shifting in a way that directly affects local businesses right now. Google is now showing AI-generated answer summaries at the top of search results for roughly 16 to 20% of all searches, and that number seems to be going up. When you search a question, instead of just links, Google gives you a direct answer, and it cites sources. Here's the key stat. 76.1% of the sources Google's AI cites actually rank in Google's top 10 already. So if you're already ranking on the first page, you're already in the running to get pulled into AI overviews. This is huge. And what do you need to focus on for AEO? There's just 3 things. First, structured data. Schema markup. This is code that tells Google exactly what your business is, what services you offer, where you're located. If you're using local business schema, FAQ schema, and service schema on your site, you're signaling to Google's AI that your content is organized and trustworthy. Studies show this can increase your AI visibility by 30 to 40%. Second, EEAT. That stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Google's AI is looking for content that demonstrates real knowledge. For local businesses, this means having detailed service pages, clear information about what you do and how you do it, and genuine reviews that back up your claims. Third, direct answers. When someone asks, what's the best roofer in Lee County? Your website needs to answer that kind of question clearly and directly, not buried in paragraphs of fluff. Google's AI extracts concise, well-structured answers. If your content is clear and organized, you have a much better shot at being the one it pulls from. Okay, this is the part of the video that actually matters now, because here's what nobody wants to talk about when they're hyping up AI search. Search Engine Land published a piece in September 2025 based on similar web data. The headline, nearly all ChatGPT users still rely on Google, and the data behind it is wild. In Q4 of 2024, 99.8% of people who use ChatGPT also use Google. Not some, not most, 99.8%. People aren't choosing between ChatGPT and Google, they're using both. And here's the part that really flips the script. SparkToro and Datos found that when people start using AI tools more, their Google searches actually go up, not down. AI isn't replacing Google, it's making people search more. Only 20% of Americans are what you'd call heavy AI users right now, 10 or more uses a month. Meanwhile, 95% still use traditional search engines every single month, and over 85% are considered heavy search users. The gap is enormous. A Nielsen-Norman Group study also found that heavy AI users are still cross-checking with Google. They'll get an answer from ChatGPT, and then they'll verify it on Google before they act on it, especially when it comes to local businesses. People want to see real reviews, real listings, and real proof that a business is legitimate. But here's where it all comes together. And this is the insight that should actually make you feel good if you've been investing in your SEO. ChatGPT doesn't crawl the internet the way Google does. It pulls from content that's already considered high quality and authoritative. And the signals it looks for, backlinks, traffic, and trust scores. The exact same things that have driven Google rankings for decades. We already showed you the data on this. The systems are different, but the underlying logic is the same. One study put it perfectly: strong SEO fundamentals directly support GEO success. Another researcher noted that for brands without a strong Google presence, a path to AI visibility requires building traditional SEO foundations first. You can't skip to AI optimization. The foundation has to be there, and that foundation is SEO. So here's the bottom line: SEO isn't dead. It's not even close to dead. It's actually become more important because now it's the foundation for not just Google rankings, but AI citations too. The businesses that double down on Google SEO right now, they're going to dominate Google and AI search for the years to come. The ones that chase AI trends and abandon the fundamentals now, they're going to fall behind on both. So what does all this actually mean for you if you're running a local business? It means the playbook hasn't changed, but the margin for error has. You can't coast on a mediocre website and a handful of backlinks anymore. You need to be the clear authority in your market, because now Google's crawlers and the AI systems pulling from the data are both looking for that. The businesses that nail this right now, they're going to dominate both. Now, I spent the last 5+ years building websites and running SEO campaigns for businesses, and everything we just talked about, the speed, the authority, the reviews, the clean structure, that's exactly what I build my entire service around. So let me break down the 3 things I do and why each one directly ties back to what we just covered. Number 1, the websites I build are static sites. I use a framework called Hugo, and the difference in performance is night and day compared to what most local businesses are running, which is WordPress, Wix, or Squarespace. A static website doesn't have a database query running every time someone loads a page. It's pure HTML. Put simply, it's able to be served instantly because it's simple. It has blazing fast load times, nearly perfect page speed scores for Google Page Speed Insights, and clean code that Google's crawlers and AI crawlers can read and understand more clearly than the code you get from a WordPress or Wix. Remember, I talked about how page speed is a confirmed Google ranking factor, and I showed you that ChatGPT actually favors pages that load quickly. Pages whose content shows up within under a second average over 6 citations compared to just 2 for slow pages. A static site like I built nails this every time. And the structure is clean, organized, and built around the exact service pages and location pages that both Google and AI systems want to see on your website. There's no WordPress bloat, no unnecessary plugins slowing everything down, just fast, authoritative content. Number 2, once a business starts getting leads from their website, a lot of them drop the ball on follow-up. They get a form submission or phone call, and then nothing happens fast enough. The customer goes with whoever responds first. That's why I set up marketing automation systems that handle this automatically. When a lead comes in, they get an instant response. They get followed up with a set schedule. And after the job is done, they automatically get a review request. And here's why that review automation is such a big deal. Reviews are one of the biggest local ranking signals we covered earlier, and recency is the key piece most businesses miss. My marketing system handles it without the owner having to really think about it. And number 3, this is where it all comes together. I run local SEO campaigns that include consistent, high quality link building. And I'm not talking about cheap backlink farms or directories. I'm talking about real links from websites that have traffic and cover topics that are relevant to your industry. We proved earlier that backlinks are the number 1 factor for both Google rankings and ChatGPT citations. So when I build links for a local business, I'm not just pushing them up in Google. I'm setting them up to dominate AI search too. The whole strategy is built around getting to the top of Google in your local market, because as we proved today, if you dominate Google, you're already positioned to dominate AI search. Google is still the game, and it's going to be for a long time. If you're a local business owner and you want to talk about what this could look like for your specific situation, I offer a free 30-minute strategy call, no strings attached. We'll look at your market, talk about where you stand, and put together a plan. Links in the description below. If this video was helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. Want to know, are you already using ChatGPT or AI tools to research local businesses? Are you a local business trying to optimize for these channels? Let me know. And for those of you who stuck around this long, thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.